Hello, andyan na tayo.
Okay po.
O sige, okay. So, andun na tayo sa administration of yung sa IV medication at wrong rate. Kunwari, yung yung drops, IV drops also, pag once na inano mo yun, imbes na ang sabi KVO, pag KVO, keep vein open. So, ibig sabihin, mga 10 drops lang yung i-ano mo dun sa IV. Pero pag sinabi niya nga 30 drops per minute, so, ang gagawin mo, i-ano mo talaga, i-ano mo siya, bibilangan mo siya doon sa watch mo na 30 drops or 60 drops, ganun. So, huwag mong i-shortcut or huwag mong dadamihan kung what is order lang ng sinabi ng doktor, kung ano ang rate lang ng IV fluid mo, yun lang ang ilalagay mo, huwag mong sasobrahan. Kasi pag nasobrahan mo yung patient magkakaroon ng overload din sa niya, sa katawan niya. Nagkakaroon ng palpitation. So, mas maganda kung what is yung order ng patient natin, huwag natin sasobrahan. Dahil sa maling rate ng natin, ng IV fluid natin. Pero there are some cases also na kunwari patapos na yung IV mo tapos wala pang kapalit. Before ka pwede mo siyang i-slow down, tapos i-inform na o paubos na yung IV niya, baka may to follow siya, ganun. Pero kung may to follow pa siya, pwede mong pahinaan na hanggang dumating yung bagong IV fluid niya. Pero pag wala nang to follow for that one, so ang mangyayari, ubusin na lang yun. I-discontinue na lang siya. And then another thing is that medication error na administering medication na wrong dose yung binigay natin. Imbes na ibibigay lang sa kanya is 50 mg o kaya 100 mg, naging 200 mg. So yung patient natin, hindi natin alam na ma-overdose yung patient natin. And sometimes yung mga gamot na yan, calculated yan. So nakalagay yan sa may census kumbaga. So hahanapin yun ng kasama mo. Hahanapin yun bakit kulang yung ganito. Kasi lalo na pag sa hospital setting ka. Malalaman nila na kasi ka-order ko lang ganito yung in-order. Saan na yung iba. So, ayun po. And also, administering medication at wrong time. Dapat, pag sinabing hour before HS, so ibig sabihin bago matulog yung patient, ibibigay mo. Hindi yung binigay mo na ng earlier form that one. Kunwari, tanghali pa lang, binigay mo na siya. O dapat before kasi may function kung bakit dapat inumin niya sa oras na ito o kaya bago matulog. Kasi para makatulog yung patient o kaya para kasi there are some patient na hindi nakakatulog, restless sila or stress sila. So binibigyan sila ng medication para makatulog sila. So ayun po, yung timing at saka yung wrong medication. Always check for the medication na i-administer natin o kaya natin sa patient natin. Kasi hindi mo ako makita. Hindi niyo ako Hi! Nawawala ako?
Opo.
Ay, walang image, walang
May image po. Yung sound niyo lang po wala kanina.
Yung sound. Okay. Okay. Nilapit ko na siya. Okay. So, tignan ko nga baka. So, saan na ba ako? You have to, check the medication that you have to give for the patient, if it is the right one or hindi. Kasi mahirap magbigay ng medication na hindi pala yun ang gamot niya. It is also a malpractice or negligence for the patients na gagawin natin. And kadalasan maraming mga nurses or healthcare na na nagkakaroon ng issue ng dahil sa medical
Sabi na naman kapit yan.
administering substitution medication. So, hindi po tayo pwedeng mag-substitute ng gamot ng patient natin.
Sabi niya. No sounds. Wala na.
Nawala ako. Kalalabas
Mahina,
na alala ko dito.
mahina yung internet niyo dyan,
Mahina.
teacher.
Oo nga eh.
Siguro maraming tao dyan
Kalalabas
sa
na
inyo
ako.
siguro. Nag-aagawan kayo ng wifi.
Oo nga.
Nag-aagawan kayo ng signal.
Sabi ko mag-ano na yun sa kumpleto na ata kami eh. Kaya ayun. Sandali, ilabas ko na lang para walang dire-diretso tayo.
Hindi po.
Para dire-diretso, ayoko na paputol-putol. Sorry po. Ayan na po. Wala na. Mampashare po ng content. Sandali lang po. O may matanong kayo? Ma'am, pa-share po ulit. Ma'am, pa-share po. Thank you so much po. Okay po. Ayan po. Saan man tayo? Wrong time. Andito na ata tayo sa at wrong way. I think sa administering in wrong medication, and then charting medication that was not given. Kung hindi ko, china-chart mo na siya, yung gamot, sinusulat mo na siya sa mismong na ibigay mo na, which is, pero hindi mo pa ginawa. So, that is also, medication error. Kasi, ang mangyayari niyan, yung continuity ng gamot mo or yung strength na gamot na ibibigay mo sa patient mo ay hindi siya bawas na at that time ng interval, na cut na siya. So, error na rin. Also a medication error already. And failure to give medication with a prescribed time interval. So, kunwari, yung interval time na hindi mo binigay, kunwari, dapat binigay mo nito. Tapos na hindi mo na ibigay. So, it's wrong also yung hindi mo mismo binigay at the time na prescribed na binigay yung gamot. Hindi mo siya, yung interval na yun, nawala na yung kumbaga sa nagbubuo ka ng time para maano mo yung dosage ng gamot. So, ang nangyari na bawasan yung dosage ng gamot at that time interval kasi hindi mo siya ibinigay. And then giving medication by wrong route. So, like for example, supposed to be medication na ibibigay mo ay for like suppository, like for example, hindi pala suppository. Ibibigay mo siya na by injection. Binigay mo siya ng subcutaneous o kaya yung IV fluid. So, it's a wrong medication. Yung route ng pagbigay mo. Dapat kung ibibigay mo lang ba siya kung sa, like for example, kung IV ba siya, o i-check mo talaga kung IV o sa oral o kaya suppository or what else, kung ano man ang sabi ng doktor na route ng pagbigay ng gamot na yun. Kung incorrect din yung preparation ng gamot na ibinigay mo sa patient mo. Like for example, i-prepare mo yung gamot na yun. Kadalasan yung mga powder, mini-mix up natin yan, yung mga ibang antibiotic, mini-mix natin yan sa liquid. So, ang nangyari nun, yung pag-mix mo, medyo nadamihan mo or kaya masyadong malapot, ganon. So, yung pag-prepare mo ay incorrect. So, we have to be very careful for that one. Administering medication to a patient with known allergy to that medication. So, alam mo na yung patient ay may allergy sa gamot na yan. And then, you continue to give that medication for her. So, ang mangyayari niyan, yung patient talagang magiging lalabas yung allergy niya talaga. So, it is a wrong, alam mo nang ibigay, baka mamaya yung patient hindi na makahinga. Kadalasan kasi pag may mga skin rashes ka, ang mga ibang effect is upper-respiratory, ang mga ibang adverse effect ng allergies. So, we have to be very careful for our patient. And also administering medication with wrong patient. So, dapat pag magbigay po tayo ng gamot, we are very sure na yun yung patient natin. Huwag po tayong magbigay ng ng gamot na without checking kung siya ba yung patient natin or hindi. So, bago ka magbigay, you ask for the name of the patient. Sabihin mo kung papasok ka doon, tanungin mo anong pangalan niya. Baka naman yung kamag-anak niya ang mabigyan mo ng gamot. Nakahiga lang siya doon o kaya andun lang siya. So, you have to check first the name of the patient. Katulad din dito sa UAE, pag may patient ka, tatawagin mo by the name. Pag hindi lang yung name niya, yung middle initial pa siya. Kung minsan halos pare-pareho na sila ng name. So, ang gagawin mo, you have to ask for the identification of the patient. Kaya yung ID niya. Kunin mo yung ID niya para sigurado ka, yun yung patient na ano mo. Kadalasan niya pagka mga outpatient lang. Pero pagka yung mga inpatient, sure ka naman na anuhan. Pero but you have to very careful also kasi baka na-interchange mo naman. So dapat pag nasa trabaho tayo, may focus tayo at saka pag hindi wala kang concentration, mawawala ka lalo na pag na-assign ka sa medications. When medication error occurs, it must be documented exactly as it occurred. Kunwari, nangyari na yung medical error na yan. So, you have to document it kung paano nangyari yung situation. Isusulat mo, kikwento mo. Ayun yung sinasabi na incident report. So, you have to make an incident report. You have to write kung paano yung nangyari yung sitwasyon na yun at bakit nakainom siya nabigyan siya ng ganito yun para magawa ng action. At the same time, kung minsan may positive na pero kung minsan kadalasan naging negative ang result na yun. Ang positive naman, para makorek yung maayos yung patient natin at ma-save in case na nagkaroon tayo, nabigyan natin ng maling gamot o kaya at least may tayo, may pangontra o pang-neutralize sa mga gamot na binigay natin. Alam nila kung what kind of medication na pang-neutralize that. But kung ang problema naman ay kung hindi mo sinabi at hindi mo i-documented, that's malaking problem. Tsaka kadalasan din yan, lalo na pag mayaman yung patient mo, they will sue you and they will, minsan mawawalan ka ng ng license mo. So dapat we have to very careful for each patient na iha-handle natin, lalong-lalo na pag sa mga gamot kasi we are handling life. Baka pag hindi tayo pag hindi tayo sa mga pasyente natin, nag-intindi at saka hindi tayo smart, hindi tayo aware kung ano yung mga gamot, tsaka hindi tayo ginawa yung tama sa pasyente natin, it can cause some error. So, mas maganda pagka kahit na slow, pero sure ka, kahit na matanong ka, pero sigurado naman yung ginagawa mo, okay lang yun. Now, there are different rights of the patient that we have to discuss now. There are important steps in administering medication, safely being sure for the medication is given for the right client or right patient. So, you have to read the physician order. Make sure for whom is the medicine that is ordered. So, once na you have to read the physician's order. Kung yung medication ba yun ay talagang in-order niya o hindi. Or if you are not yet sure, you have to ask the doctor or any supervisor with you para ma-confirm mo if it's that yan ba yung medication na in-order sa patient na ang pangalan ay Abdallah, ganon. So you have to be very careful to check for the right patient. And then you have to identify the patient correctly. The nurse or kung nursing aid, kung nasa home care kayo, you have to check for the medication administration form. Kung yung ba ay nakalisted sa patient natin, you have to check for the patient identification. Kadalasan pagka inpatient siya o kaya sa sa home care, meron silang mga tags na alam mo patient yun. You have to check the name of the patient or you have to ask the patient and ask to state her name or his name to ensure the patient that you are talking with the right patient. And also you have to ask for the right correct information about him. Kung talaga ba siya, you have to ask na yung kung ano yung mga routine niya, kung siya ba yung patient natin o hindi. Now, it's also, you have to read the doctor's order to study the correct name of that drug. Make sure if the medication is ordered, na it should be clear. Clear yung ano niya, label niya. And then if you are not sure, you have to ask also for someone who could assist you for the help. It's either with the nurse or any health team, the manager or the supervisor or the physician if you are in a home case also. So make sure also the drug copies correctly on the medication chart. So once na in-order yun ng doctor, na-copy siya sa nurses notes ninyo, nakalagay doon na itong tinitake ng gamot ng patient natin. You have to select the drug from the cupboard, read the label of the medicine container and the name of the medicine, and i-chart mo, dapat naka-chart siya thrice. And you have to look for the color, the odor, the consistency of the drug. And also, unusual characteristic of the drug should be a question, like for example, kung nag-iba ba ang kulay niya at bakit nito medyo basa, or anything, any change for the consistency, the color of the medicine of the patient, you have to question it because baka out of this, baka expired na siya o kaya nainitan na siya, so nawala na yung efficacy ng gamot na ibibigay natin sa pasyente natin. So we have to very careful for that one. And unusual characteristic of the drug should be questioned. And administer the medicine only for a clear label container. So pag clear yung label container niya, ibig sabihin bago yun at yun ang exact name ng natin, ng gamot ng patient natin. But if it's unclear, hindi ka sure, never administer the medication which you are not sure. And avoid conversation during the preparation of medication. So, habang naghahanda ka ng gamot ng patient mo, huwag kang makipagkwentuhan, huwag kang you have to focus on the medication of the patient kasi dyan kadalasan nagkakaroon ng error sa hospital-based na medical error. So, you have to focus first. After that, pag matapos yung gawain mo, doon ka makipagkwentuhan. But you do first concentrate for the medication and preparing the medication of the patient. And the right dose also. And you have to correct the dose of the patient. You have to check on the chart kung yun ba talaga yung dose ng patient natin. And you have to consider the age and the weight of the patient. Why? Because in giving the right dose of the patient, you have to consider the age and the weight. Doon mo kasi i-measure kung sa bigat ba ng patient at saka sa edad niya, doon mo kasi meron tayong calculation for that medication kung bata man siya, kung anong age siya, and the weight of the patient. Kasi doon kung tama lang ba, marami o dadagdagan mo ang dosage ng patient natin. This may help also to find the error for physician's order. Kadalasan kasi pag nag-order din ng patient ng doctors, ilalagay lang nila doon, but sometimes we are the one who are checking kung yung ba ay ang right dosage ng patient natin kasi we are the one who is mixing and we are the one who is preparing for that one. Know the maximum and minimum dose of the medicine that we have to give, and then we have also to check it, to calculate it in fraction dosage correctly. Kasi kung kung hanggang diyan ba, kung hindi mo alam ang minimum at saka maximum ng isang gamot, mahihirapan ka diyan na pag once na nagkaroon ka ng error, hindi mo siya mahabol o hindi mo siya ma-adjust yung gamot. So you have to know it, the maximum and minimum of the dosage of the medicine that you have give to the patient. And have the medicine card or written order before you prepare the drug. Kadalasan meron tayong mga index card for the medicine of the patient that you have to give every shift or every like for example sa isang shift there are three times mong ibibigay. Isa sa morning, afternoon, and before you go for mag-out ka na. So meron tayong index card doon na nakalagay yung order ng patient natin, and you check for that one, yung dose niya, bago mo i-prepare. Kasi once na nabuksan mo ng isang gamot, hindi mo na pwedeng i-discard mo na talaga, hindi mo na pwedeng itabi o kasi contaminated na siya. And know the abbreviation and the symbols also. It is very important to know the abbreviation and the symbols that we have discussed before. And help the patient to take all the medication as that was ordered to him. So, kunwari may mga patient tayo na ayaw nang mag-take, pagod na ganun. You have to help them. You have to explain them why they need to take the medication. And also, sabihin nyo na kailangan niya ito para gumaling siya, and para saan ba yan, you have to tell kung para saan ba yan, gano'n. And pag once na sabihin mo rin kung hanggang kailan siya kadalasan pag-antibiotic, kasi this one it can be given for a period of time. Pag once na natapos yung 15 pieces na or 5 days mo lang siya ibibigay yung gamot, it will be stopped already. So you have to encourage the patient to take all the medication for them. And also the right road. Also you have to determine kung ano pa yung right road of giving the medication, especially yung pagdadilute ng mga gamot. Kung ito ba ibibigay ba siya ng oral, bibigay ba siya ng parenteral, dun sa IV fluid ba, o kaya sa intramuscular ba, or we should know kung ano ba yung designated ng route of administration nito, IV, intramuscular, per orem, or whatever. You have to review the available forms of the drug. Make sure the drug that can be given according to order. So dapat lahat ng ibibigay natin na gamot ay order ng doctor and in the right way kung paano may ibibigay yun. Make sure the patient is able to take the drug by that route, and you have to indicate it also. Kunwari, may patient na ayaw niyang i-take that one, mas gusto niya ng ayoko nang uminom ng oral, so pwede bang gawin ko na lang suppository, or pwede ba gawin ko na lang IV. So you have to take down notes also that for sabihin niyo sa doctor kung may available ba ng gamot for that one. Kasi there are times na patient kaya ayaw nilang mag-take ng gamot kasi ayaw nilang inumin, o kaya ayaw nila ng mas gusto na, o kaya ayaw nila ng injection kung pwede silang inumin, ganun. So vice versa. And also the right timing is very important, and the frequency. Now, administering the drug as per a physician's order, we must know that medication is ordered for a certain time of the day. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay in order na pwedeng umaga, tanghali, gabi, at bago matulog. And it's may schedule din siya ng timing. At yung schedule na yun ay hindi pwedeng baguhin. So, dapat kung sinabing ito ang oras niya 8, 12, 8. So, ang gagawin niya 8 o'clock, ibigay mo ng morning. 12 o'clock, ibigay mo siya at 8. Ganon. Hindi pwedeng mabago na yung niya. Cannot be altered the timing and the frequency of the medicine that you have to give. And medication must act at certain times are given, which is kunwari priority siya. Especially yung mga insulin, yung mga patient na diabetic, it is very important to give it na priority sila. Kasi pag once na you were not able to give at the right timing, yung patient ay mag-hypo. So mahihilo yung pasyente natin and magiging malaking problema. And know also the common approved abbreviation in administering drug per institution. Kasi may mga policy din kasi every institution na ginagamit ng abbreviation. Sabi lang. And then you have to give medicine as ordered in relation of food intake. So, kunwari, yung patient mo ay isasabay mo yung kung may gastric may gastric irritation siya. So you have to give that one AC, meaning before meals o kaya after meals, ganon. So naka-specify doon tuwing nagbigay ka ng intake ng food ng patient mo. And you have to give according to the action as expected. So, kung sakaling yung gamot ay ibibigay mo ay panggabi lang para makatulog yung pasyente natin, so ibibigay mo lang yun sa gabi kasi yung gabing iyon para makatulog yung patient natin. It should be given at bedtime. Pag naman, diuretics, kung ibibigay mo yan ng umaga, kasi pag hindi binigay mo na yung gabi yan, hindi na makakatulog yung pasyente kasi ihi na siya ng ihi na siya ng ihi. So, mas maganda ibigay yung mga diuretics na medicine during morning time. Kasi yung patient ay gising na siya, so ready na siya, pwedeng maglakad-lakad siya. So, okay lang yun. And also, right documentation. Documentation is an important part of safe medication administration. It is very important for us to document each medicine that we are given to our patient because yun lang ang pinanghahawakan mo na nagiging safe, you give a safe medication for the patient and you are taking care of your name and your in your career. Kasi once na hindi documented yung mga and then something nagkakasisihan and then they have to look for the source of any error for that one, and all of you have been under this investigation. So mas maganda pag documented lahat and you do it in a right way, in a right patient. And it's also important that the medication should clearly reflect the patient name, the name of order of the medication, the timing, the dose, the route, and the frequency. And you have to sign the medication sheet immediately after you give the medication, so that meaning to say that you have given already, you have assessed the patient, you have executed already in giving the document medication of the patient. And you use also the standard abbreviation in recording the medication of the patient. Hindi yung pagkahaba-haba parang naging story na yung pag maglagay tayo maging short and brief lang, understood na yun. Doon ka na lang mag-explain pagka yung endorsement. Sa endorsement kasi doon ka magsalita, sabihin mo yung pero doon sa short lang sa mismo nurse's notes kapag maglagay. Pero short but specific at saka may laman kung ano ang mga dapat na ilagay doon. And record the medication that which you have administered. Never record medication before giving the patient. Huwag kang magmadali. Huwag mo nang isusulat na given mo na yung medication and then hindi mo pala na ibibigay. Gagawin mo pa lang. What if something happened? Like for example, nag-arrest yung patient mo and then nakalagay na doon na ibinigay mo yung gamot and they will find out na yung patient mo, hindi mo na-assess pa yung mga vital signs niya at that moment. Tapos inibinigay mo pa yung gamot. So that will be malpractice also or negligence. And then record the effects that you have observed. Once you have given a medication and then there is an effect, adverse effect or side effects for the patient, you have to write it down so that we could discontinue the medication of the patient. And you have to record the medication that are vomited by the patient. Okay? If the patient doesn't want to take the medication or refuse to take the medication, so you have to take down notes for that one. And you have to administer the patient and the medication for the patient. And if the patient doesn't want to take the medication, you have to write the reason why the patient did not give, or why, or if you withhold the medication for the patient, you have to take down notes kung bakit hindi mo binigay sa patient nito. And there are some rules of drugs. You have to read the physician order before preparing the medication. No medicine should be prepared without doctor's order. So you have to check for the order from the doctor first, and no medication will be given. Pag hindi doctor's order, don't give the medication. Even though this is the right medication of the patient, do not give. And verbal orders are carried out only for emergency. Pag hindi siya emergency, do not execute in giving the medication of the patient. Only for emergency cases na kine-carry out natin yung mga verbal orders. You have to check the medicine card of the patient, and also be sure the medicine is copied correctly from the doctor's order to the nurse's notes. Kasi sometimes, mali yung kinapi pala ng nurse, may sinulat yung doctor, mali naman yung sinulat mo, tapos hindi mo chinek, kineri order mo lang yung order ng kasamahan mo without checking kung tama ba yung in-order niya ng yung sinulat ng doctor mo. So, may error na tayo. So, it is very important for that one. You have to avoid conversation during preparation of the medication. And walang magkipagkwentuhan. We have to concentrate first that one. And then also calculate any drugs accurately. If in doubt, you have to consult supervisor or any physician. Kung sa tingin mo ba mali yung sinulat ng doctor na you have to confirm it kung mali yung i-prescribe niyang gamot. And give medication only for a clear label container. And then before the medicine container taken from the shelves, you have to check it. And before putting the drugs, you have to check it again. And before replacing the container on the shelf, you have to check the expiry date of the drugs, and along with the 3 checks. So, i-check mo siya bago mo kunin sa mismong container niya, i-check mo from the shelf. And then, bago mo buksan, i-check mo ulit yung gamot. Tapos, before mo na ibalik yun, i-check mo ulit. So, after that, sabay mo rin i-check yung expiry date niya. 3 checks ang gagawin mo. Now also, make sure the medicine glass are clean and dry before the medicine is taken. So pag magbigay ka ng patient mo, kasi may maliit na medicine glass na yun, doon nilalagay lahat ng gamot ng patient mo. Dapat malinis yun. We have to clean it kasi baka mamaya ibibigay natin, marami pala, hindi pa pala nalinis. So we have to clean it and dry it. And when taking the tablets and capsule, do not touch them with your hand. Huwag mong gagalawin by your bare hand. You have to open it and itadrop mo lang yung tablet sa container, and then mahuhulog na siya sa may lagay ng glass o sa cup. And then once yung medicine is poured on the bottle, it should be back again to prevent the contamination of the whole medicine. Do not use medicine na sa tingin mo ay iba na yung color niya, iba na rin yung odor niya, consistency niya. So maybe it's expired already or na-expose nga, katulad ng sinabi ko. And prepare the drug just before the time of administration of medicine. And never leave the medicine tray without proper identification. But once na i-prepare mo na yung mga gamot mo, huwag mo na never leave it na walang